Jazzcast Pros.
I received a call and said, "We've eliminated your position." Now, did I want to go in there and clock the lady? The residue of the little girl in Pam that always felt overlooked or mistreated rose up. My job was gone. In that moment, I had the power to control how losing my six-figure job showed up, how I respond to it, how much power I gave it, and how it impacted me. I had the power to control that. Welcome to Grace and Grind, the podcast redefining what it means to act like a lady, but think like a boss. All while helping female professionals navigate the intricacies of the workplace with poise, confidence, and grace. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey, y'all. Good morning. I'm so glad to see you guys this morning. For anybody that's new to my community and you've never attended one of my lives before, I am Dr. Pamela Brown-Grinion, and I am an international etiquette coach. I am a trauma-informed coach, and I am an executive leadership coach. And I've combined all three of those things together to create a very unique and special framework just for YOU, and I call it emotional etiquette. And to sum things up, what we do here in this community is it's an atmosphere where you get to come, be your authentic self, non-judgmentally, and you get to explore you and you get to work on you. And I mean, it's wonderful. I use my own personal life experiences and my research and all of my experience as a coach, a business owner, and a trauma practitioner. I just put it all under one umbrella so that I can do what God has called me to do. And this is what God has called me to do, to help people heal from trauma. This is not school. This is not a lecture. This is a totally unique unique community just for YOU. All right. This podcast is for educational, inspirational, and motivational purposes only. I am a trauma informed practitioner, but I'm not a licensed mental health professional. Okay. So I don't diagnose, treat, recommend, refer, none of that. That's not what this is. This is me telling you what I did to get myself free from healing the little girl that was still residing in my adult body. I'm just walking y'all through the steps that I did, and it worked. So I decided to share it, okay? If you feel you need a licensed professional, a licensed mental health professional, please call and get one. 988-911, whatever you need to do. Call your medical doctor, your primary care, but do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, okay? Everybody has their own story. But what I do know is trauma is trauma. And the symptoms from trauma are symptoms from trauma. And it doesn't matter what political party you are, what your race is, what your gender is, how you identify, what your socioeconomic status is, what your educational level is. It does not matter. Trauma hits us all, and trauma is real. Okay? Trauma is real. Now, we may not have gone through the same things, but we may have the same emotional symptoms based on our traumatic experiences. That's real. And I talk about those things, and I use my own personal life, my personal story, my personal testimony. I share those things to let you guys know that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. I don't have to know what you're going through, but I'm very transparent. I'm vulnerable. I'm authentic, and I'm honest. And I don't show up acting like I jumped out of the womb, Dr. Pamela, because I didn't. I went through hell. I did. And I share my story because it's real. And I know a lot of people can relate to it. Even if you've never told anyone before, I know that you can relate to it. Okay. So that's why we're here. I'm here to share me with you. That's just what I do. Right. I couldn't give you any more if I tried. And I refuse to give you any less. So what you see is what you get. There's no pretenses, falsehoods, no more facades. I've given up the mask years ago, guys. And I'm trying to get you to that space where you feel like you understand and you know that you don't need a mask, that you are more than enough. You're more than enough. Sometimes when we're trauma bound, We lose our entire sense of identity because we allow our trauma to make us become what we've gone through. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that anymore. And you don't have to walk through life carrying it by yourself anymore. Because here, if you go back and listen to all of my lives, you can get the whole entire thing on Facebook. If you go back and listen to all of my lives, it will walk you through and give you steps and strategies. And I will ask you specific questions that will evoke. Okay, it will evoke something out of you. It will awaken something in you. It will make you think, because you have to be reflective and introspective if you are trying to relieve yourself from these emotional symptoms attached to traumatic behavior, right? But you got to do the steps. You're not just going to arrive. It doesn't happen like that. Okay, you got to do the steps. You got to do the work. You can course correct because you have free will. You get to choose, right? And because you get to choose, I've been saying to you guys from the very beginning, you have the power to control how all the things that happen in your life, how they show up, how you respond, how much power you give them, and how you're impacted by them. That's your free will. That's all that is. It's you choosing, what am I going to do now that I've had this situation, this person, this experience happen in my life, and it's adverse. I don't like it. I didn't ask for it. I don't want it, and I want to be free from it. You get to choose what's next. Okay? You get to choose what's next. What's next is you deciding, this happened to me. How am I going to respond to it? I'm telling you guys what I had to do to get free. How am I going to respond to what's next? This happened. Real world scenario here. I was on a job, my highest paying job, working for someone else I had ever had. My highest paying job. Great money. Okay. With my bonuses, easily six figures, working for somebody else, right? I was an executive and on an executive position. I was the only Black person in this executive role. Well, I was a little bit too much advocating for the people, because in HR, that's what you have to do, advocate for the people, right? And I advocated too much for the people. And I become a little too boisterous for the people because I don't like bullies, and I don't like people to be mistreated, right? Been there, done that. Don't like it. So I advocated for the people. I went to work, left work on Friday. I came in on Monday. My office was moved. Big altercation. I said some things on Monday. On Sunday, I received a call and said, "We've eliminated your position." In that moment, I had the power to control how losing my six-figure job showed up, how I respond to it, how much power I gave it, and how it impacted me. I had the power to control that. Now, on the inside of me, I wanted to act up. You guys know what I'm saying when I say act up. Do you know why? Because that the residue of the little girl in Pam that always felt overlooked or mistreated rose up. And I said some things in that office on Friday. Oh, yeah. I said some things, right? I said some things. My job was gone on Sunday. I could come in on Monday after work to retrieve my things after everyone else had left the office, right? I showed up with my 6'7" son and my 6'6" son. I'm just intimidation tactics, right? Because I was just like, you know what? You hired me to advocate for the people. I'm advocating for the people, but some people don't like to be told they're wrong. Some people can't handle that. So my job was gone. Now, normally, when I was younger and things happened, that adverse situations happened in my life, I would retreat. You're right. Listen, I was not having it. Okay. I brought my big sons in there with me. I'm like, oh, I got people. Okay. I showed up with my security. Okay. Security. Come on. I showed up with my security. But at that moment, I had the power to control what I was going to do. Now, did I want to go in there and clock the lady. That thing inside of me, but I'm not a fighter. I just felt like I wanted to do that. But I was never the fighter. I would call my sister Donna and she would do the fighting. I just sold the wolf tickets, right? Not doing any fight. I'm just selling the wolf tickets and I can sell them real good. But I'm not throwing hands. Don't get me wrong. But that doesn't mean inside that I wasn't so angry that I didn't feel like I wanted to, right? So I felt like that. But I can control things. So anyway, at that point, I had the power to control. I could have resorted to my rabbit hole and was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? I got twins in this house that I have to feed. I got expenses, right? I have expenses. What am I going to do? And I decided that because I have the power to control, that, now what am I going to do? I'm going to listen to what Nana said. Now what you going to do? Because that's always the next question. Now what are you going to do? You have a situation. Now what are you going to do? So I decided that I am going to do what I do. I'm talented. Y'all see this? That means I know how to do stuff. I know how to do stuff, right? I know how to do stuff. So what did I do? I called some of my previous contacts and said, look, I'm taking Totally Unique educational consultants back live again. 100% Totally Unique. That's what I'm going to do. And some people said, yeah, come on back. Yes, we would love to work with you again, because I had the power to choose what was next. So instead of becoming depressed, allowing my anger to take control of me, instead of going postal in the workplace, instead of doing all of those things that are contrary to what I believe and contrary to the person that I've transformed into, because I know I have healed, right? But there's still residue and there's still cracks. Don't get it twisted. You can be healed, but you still have residue left internally and you still have cracks that you need to fill, okay? So in that moment, I decided how much power I was going to give it. I started writing curriculum. I chose how losing my six-figure job was going to impact me, right? Now, what if I chose to do nothing? What if I flopped and I did nothing? That's still a decision, right? I chose that I'm not going to allow it to take me off course. I'm not, because I'm talented and I have skills and I know how to do things. Okay. And yes, I did pray about it. And yes, I did get direction, right? Because I know how to do things. And so you cannot allow your adverse experiences to come in, because they do come in. They're going to happen. Understand, as long as you're living, it is going to happen. It just is. It's going to happen. The key is, what do you do when it happens? Now what you're going to do? What are you going to do when adversity stands in your face and tells you in so many words that you thought you were the it? You thought you were all that in a bag of chips. You thought. But now let me show you. So I decided I'm never giving anybody the power again to fire me. I'm not. I'm never giving anybody the power to. Why? Because I don't have to. Why? Because I know how to do things. I'm talented. God gave me a lot of skills. So many sometimes that I don't know which one to use first. I'm talented. So therefore, I don't have to. I'm going to use my gifts and then I'm going to allow God to make room for them. Hence being here with you guys. I'm going to use my natural talent, gifts, and abilities. God gave me this gift. Now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with it? Right? I was supposed to be live. I heard internally and with a coach that I was working with, go live in 2020, January 2020. I didn't do it. 5 years, almost 6 years later, here I am live. Right? I didn't listen. But I did take my business full time. I listened to part of it. I didn't listen to, is it just me? Is it just me? It's like daddy said, go in there. I want you to clean the bathroom and clean the kitchen. And I want you to have it done by the time I come back from work, working with everybody else. Okay. When I come home, I need you to have the kitchen and the bathroom clean. And I said, okay, daddy. Yes, daddy. I'm going to clean the kitchen and the bathroom. And I only cleaned the kitchen. Right? Is it just me? Y'all stop acting like it's just me. Y'all know God tell y'all to do stuff and y'all just do one part of it. Stop judging me. Okay? It's not just me. It's you too. Right? Hold your hand up. It's okay. It's all good. No judgment here. Right? I know what I'm supposed to do. Who's that saying? Tam? Wallace said, same and same. Thank you. I know I'm not alone. Right? You hear, do this. But then that unhealed little girl or little boy on the inside says, girl, you know you're not ready for that. You ready to clean the kitchen. You're not ready for the bathroom. Simmer down. Okay? Simmer down. And then you listen to it and you just do one part of it. Right? Instead of going to do everything that you were instructed to do. That's me. I'm a little hard-headed. Okay, I'm a lot hard-headed. I am. I'm hard-headed, right? And so here I am almost 6 years later showing up for you guys. Right? Showing up. And I'm not beating myself up. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, hear me what I'm saying, that sometimes you get instructed to do things and you don't do it. And you don't know the detriment to not doing it. Because I don't know how many people in those 6 years I was supposed to help and right? Because I was disobedient. So again, you have the power to control. Right? I'm taking it right back to that story of losing my good job. Okay, job, right? I had the power to control how that impacted me. I'm a person that worries. My kids will tell you, mommy, please. Okay, just because you worried about that don't mean we have to be worried about that. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. I'm working on that. But I'm a person that worries. I am. And I didn't. I lost the job. And I said, next. Now what you gonna do? I could hear my grandmother clearly. Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? Okay. Now what are you going to do? Are you going to fall in a rabbit hole? Are you going to worry about all the bills you're not going to be able to pay because you don't have the finances? That continuous income coming in? Are you going to worry about your retirement is not where it needs to be? Are you going to be worrying about what you can't do? Remember, I told you guys a few days ago that you have to, when adversity faces you in the face like this, when adversity is looking you eyeball to eyeball, that you have to be able to recall your past victories. Past victory number 1. You healed from the greatest traumatic experience that you ever had, of the things that happened to you as a girl without your permission. You healed from that. Recalled victory number 1. If you can get over that, you can do this. So I healed from, and this is what I have to tell myself, go inward and tell myself, Pam, not Dr. Pam. Okay. Titles don't matter. When you're trying to heal, titles don't matter. Titles don't matter. Education doesn't matter. Your money, none of that matters. Okay. I had to go inward and say, Pam, talk to yourself. Tell yourself what you need to hear. Tell yourself what, if you were coaching you, what would you say to yourself? And so I said, what are my 3 victories that I need to recall in this moment so that I can boost my self-esteem, so that I can boost my confidence and remind myself of who I am, right? All I have to do is stand in this doorway right here and do like this and just look. And that helps to remind me of what's in me, right? Victory number 1. You healed from that thing that no little girl should ever have to go through. First victory. Number 2, When I was in my doctoral program, I had brain surgery. Yep, I had brain surgery. Can you tell? No, you can't. You can't tell, right? But during the brain surgery, in the middle of my doctoral program, I could have quit. In fact, the school told me to quit. Maybe this is no longer a good time for you. Maybe you need to take time to heal and come back with the next cohort. My best friend, the one that told me that you don't show up for yourself, my best friend was like, "Girl, I need you to, you got, you trying to kill yourself. This is too much. I need you to, you stop." And I said, "I'm not quitting school. I'm not quitting school. I'm not, whatever the school needs to do to make concessions for me to sit in class, that's what I need them to do." I had brain surgery. Okay. I couldn't think clearly. I wasn't speaking clearly. My balance was off. I mean, because your brain was not designed to be tinkered with. Okay. I was not myself. I was stuttering and stammering. I had headaches. I mean, I was not myself, but I didn't quit. I'm resilient. I am strong. I am. I didn't quit. I did not quit. It took me 12 years to do a 2.5 year doctoral program. 12 years. Did I have times where I thought, just stop, just give it up, just. Mhm. Did I have times when I wanted to throw my laptop against the wall? Mhm. Did I have times where I wanted to cuss out the entire doctoral program leaders? Mhm. But I had the power to control how my physical health was showing up in my life, right? I had the power to control that. And I could have resorted. I could have gotten angry at God again. And I could have said, why do you keep letting these things happen to me? I could have done all those things. Why me? I could have done all of that. Sometimes I did, but I didn't stop. Why? Because achieving my doctoral degree was more important to me, and I desire that more than I desired quitting. You guys hear that? I desired achieving this monumental goal more than I desired quitting, because I did want to quit. That was a desire. I wanted to quit, but I wanted that more. Why? Because I needed to prove to myself that girls like me do go to college. And I shared that part of my testimony. Thank you, Tam. I shared that part of my testimony with you guys on one of the lives where my high school guidance counselor told me that girls like me don't go to college. I was accepted into an HBCU. I didn't even know what it meant, but I internalized it and I turned it into something else. And I didn't know what it meant. Didn't matter. It caused imposter syndrome. It caused me to shut down. It caused me to think that I couldn't. So I didn't. But in that moment, I chose that I'm not going to quit. So those are two victories that I recall on all the time. And my third one was my divorce. Crippled me, broken, crushed to my soul, because I did not want to be divorced again twice. And it made me check me and say, can you be a good wife? Is it you? What, like, what's the problem? What's wrong? You're the common denominator in both of these marriages, right? But I overcame that, right? And I didn't realize how damaged I was until I no longer was. Yeah. So, three different phases of my life. And so that's why I'm telling you, stuff is going to come. Stuff is happening. It's coming. As long as you live, stuff is going to be happening. But it's how you deal with it, because you have the power to control how it shows up, how you respond to it, how much power you give it, and how it impacts you. You have the power to control that. Anytime I face adversity, I tell myself that. And I know that adversity can come on any day. As long as you're living, adversity is coming in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Prepare for it. Life will life. Correct, Tam. And life be lifing. Okay. Life be life, and life is life and right now. But I have the power to control. And so I no longer allow life to choke the life out of me. I no longer live my life in Python syndrome. I don't. What's Python syndrome? When life gets so big and so heavy that it feels like it's choking the very life out of you, and you can't. You just emotionally you're crippled. Mentally you can't think. You just go on pause. And you start to care and you start to give up. Python syndrome. I'm not doing that. Why? Because it's detrimental to my health, my internal health. I've worked too hard, guys. And you've worked too hard. If you've been on with me for the past 3 weeks, you've worked too hard to give up on yourself. You have. And I know that I've taken you through some things that have made you go into some places and open up some closets and grab a hold of some ankles and relive some traumatic situations. I know I have. But look, you're still here. You're still here and you're okay. You're okay. You are okay. And you're going to be okay. Just remember when adversity comes a knocking, because it's coming, right? What are the 3 things that you're going to use to fortify yourself internally to say, if I could do that, I could do this? I told you guys about my 3 of my giants. I've had many giants. I've told you about 3 of my giants that I had to slay. Understand that you do have the power to slay them. And then once you do, now you remind yourself that I did that. I did this. Right? I did this. So obviously, girls like me do go to college, and girls like me can learn, obviously. But I had to do that for me, because at some point I internalized it and I believed it. This is not what I was going to talk about today, but somebody obviously needs this. If you're at that point in your life and you feel like you want to give up on you, I'm saying to you that you have everything in you that you need to get to that next level. Everything, everything, everything. I don't care how grim, how glim, how bleak it looks in the now. I want you to know that everything that you need to take you to the next level is inside of you. But you are the spark that's needed. You are the spark that's needed. Okay? You are the spark that's needed to light the fire inside of you. And sometimes that means that we have to go backwards before we can go forward. Why? Because if you trace your trauma, the genealogy of your trauma back to the beginning, and you start to work on it from the beginning, you'll feel lighter and you won't feel so trauma bound. And you'll release some things out of you so that you can think more clearly, so that you can hear more clearly, so that you can move authentically. But you can't right now because you got too much stuff on the inside that's holding you down, weighting you down, weighting you down. Too much. And I'm challenging you this whole 3 weeks. It's been about challenging you you have to remove the weights. Nobody else can do that. And if you've removed weights, don't get it twisted. I did not remove the weights for you. I didn't do the work. You did the work. Right? You did the work. I'm your coach. But you have to do the work. Information without implementation doesn't equal anything. I'm giving the information, but you have to do the implementation. Okay? You have to do the implementation. Whatever it is that you know you're supposed to be doing, I'm challenging you. Don't wait 6 years. You're going to always be afraid. If it's not making you afraid, then that's probably not the thing that you're called to do. I'm just telling you. If what you know you're called to do has you shaking in your boots, that's the thing. If what it is you're called to do makes you feel like this is bigger than you, that's the thing. If what you know you were called to do makes you feel like, makes you believe, I could never accomplish this. Oh my God. That's what you're supposed to do. What are the 3 things that you're going to use to fortify yourself internally to say, if I could do that, I could do this? All right, folks, that's all we have time for. I thank you so much for joining the Grace and Grind podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Pamela Brown-Grinion, and until next time, and always remember to create your totally unique day on purpose.